Welcome all to Taronga Zoo and Free Flight Birds. My name is Kelsey.
And my name is Julia.
And to start today, we would like to start by acknowledging the Camaragal people. They are the traditional custodians of this land, and for tens of thousands of years, First Nations people have understood that balance between the land and its wildlife. We here at Taronga feel very honoured to try and follow in their footsteps as shared custodians for the wild.
No matter where you're from, every day we have the opportunity to see and connect with the remarkable birds that are all around us. And all you guys have to do is look up.
That's right, Julia. And while we are looking up at beautiful birds, they're, of course, looking down. They're all searching for their own opportunities for a feed. And an emu egg like this, well, it can be the ultimate prize for Australia's third largest hawk. And that is the black-breasted buzzard.
See him.
Whack. Oh, you're good, getting in already. Everybody, this is Waru. And you can see, even with his sharp beak and feet, he needed help getting in that egg, and the rock was the perfect tool for the job. Oh my gosh, buddy, I've barely talked about you and you're already in. It is pretty impressive. Instinctual behaviour. So it's nothing we had to train Waru to do. He hatched out of his own egg with that knowledge already in his mind. Now, we do tend to associate tool use like that with both humans and other primates. So it's really exciting seeing a bird like Waru able to achieve his goal today and so quickly. And it really goes to show that we have a little bit more in common with birds than what we may have previously thought. I'll just clean up a little bit of this. Now, Waru is definitely an active daytime hunter. He's out there searching for his prey. But these next birds, they prefer to lie in wait, relying on their beautiful camouflage to help them catch theirs. Oh, you dropped it. Oh, it's all right. I'll give you a new one. That's better. It is an owl. Very good guesses.
Wow. There he goes.
Well, do you ever get that feeling you might be being watched? Well, owls are everywhere. And even if you can't see them, they can certainly see you out in the country and even right here in the city.
Whoa. Where are you going, you silly owl? That's a silly owl, right?
He's an owl.
He's a silly owl? Here he comes!
Well, this is Ripley, everyone, and Ripley is a barking owl. Now, it might surprise you, but barking owls, they actually hunt during the daylight. But in fact, about half of the world's species...
There we come, there he goes. Oh boy.
They will hunt during the day.
It's hard to see
Now,
the
it's using
sunlight.
these big, powerful feet that birds like Ripley can take down other birds and animals that are larger than themselves.
He flies over us. Here he comes, incoming! He's a big flyer. Fast. Where's he gonna go now? Is he gonna fly again?
You can see as Ripley looks around their
I knew it.
environment.
Just as I predicted, right?
They do it with ease. That's actually because they have double the amount of neck bones that we do. So while we have 7, even big giraffes, they have 7, these birds actually have 14. Now, as it starts to get darker, these birds will look to hunt other things like rats and mice, but maybe even a possum, before they return to a nice, safe branch to rest.
So, both day and night, our owls, they're out there hunting introduced pests, things like rats and mice. Now, rats and mice, they can unfortunately cause a lot of problems for our native wildlife. They're out there taking eggs and young birds right from the nest. So it's really lucky that we do have owls there restoring the balance. They're really out there being one of the best neighbors that we could all hope for. A single owl can eat around 1,000 mice per year, and a breeding pair with chicks, they can be eating around 3,000 more. So if you do see any owls out there, make sure you thank them because they're really playing that part in our ecosystems, restoring that balance.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much, Julia. Now, the birds that we've seen so far, they have actually been Australian natives. But no matter where you're from in the world, there is always a chance to create a connection with birds. In fact, if you spend any time over in South America, you might have had the chance to see one of the largest flying birds in the world today. Now, the ancient Incas of Peru, they actually used to believe that the sun was so large, couldn't possibly get into the sky on its own, did need help. And that came, not with Matthew, but on the wings of the Andean condor. If you cast your eyes overhead, you'll meet ours, and her name is
Whoa, look at him. He's huge, right?
pretty impressive.
He's huge.
Mira, as a vulture, is a scavenger.
Jeez.
And this is exactly what she does best, sticking that head deep into carcasses to get all the juicy stuff out from the inside.
He's
Now, you might be
massive.
able to see that Kinera, she has a nearly bald head. It's covered in tiny hair-like feathers. This actually helps keep her nice and clean. Any debris on top will simply dry and flake on off in the sun, and she can continue to perform her role in the environment. Now, sadly, in the world, we are losing our vulture populations, and for some species, it's actually up to 99%. That means that diseases like anthrax and rabies, well, they are on the rise. And there are other scavengers out there, but they just don't do the job as well. So we really need to make sure we look after our vultures so they can look after us before they might just simply disappear.
Okay, good. Goodbye, vulture.
Thank you, Kinera, and thank you, Matthew. She is pretty incredible. Now, while we don't have vultures here in Australia, we are home to other scavenging birds, just like the brush turkey, raven, and ibis. And that really goes to show that you don't always have to travel really far to get to experience these beautiful birds. In fact, there's one species already doing all of the travelling for us. They voyaged across the seas and alongside people, and they allow us our everyday connections. Be pretty surprised if you don't know this beautiful bird.
Oh,
It's a chicken!
Rooster chicken.
Now, this beautiful chicken here is Mentari. He's actually a red jungle fowl. Now, originally from Southeast Asia, the red jungle fowl, they're the ancestor to all modern-day breeds of chicken. They've actually had a connection with culture that's lasted around 8,000 years. Now, today, modern-day chickens and the red jungle fowl, they feature in religions, customs, and rituals. Thanks, girls. You know what? They've even made it into our everyday language as well. So whether you relate to Mentari, out there ruling the roost, maybe you're a bit like the hens, a mother hen whose chicks are looking to fly the coop. Or you could be a little bit like us, the kind of people that go and put all of their eggs into one basket. No matter how you relate to these birds, they really go to show that you don't always have to travel really far to appreciate them. They're even in our backyards. Now, chickens aren't a native here in Australia. However, we are home to around 800 different species of bird. And just over 50 of these happen to be our parrots. And that's what usually gives us that nickname, the land of parrots. So for many of us, all we have to do is take that step outside, right into our own backyards. And we can experience the beauty of these birds that's already all around us.
Oh, there he is. I couldn't see him. That's a cockatoos. Yeah, that's what they call cockatoos. They have like yellow things on their heads. Man, so good. Oh, here come more. Sorry guys, if it's too bright. Not just at Taronga Zoo, you know that place.
I'm sure you're all pretty familiar with the beautiful sulphur-crested cockatoo. They used to be found only on the other side of the Great Dividing Range, but with extra food and water resources, they really have thrived. But that's not always the case for all of our birds.
Whoa, a black cockatoo. Here comes.
Now, as we expand our towns and our cities, we are making constant changes to our landscapes. And unfortunately, not all of our birds can adapt to these impacts. birds, including our parrots, they rely on tree hollows, as tree hollows provide them with a secure home, and with that a place where they can nest and a place where they can thrive.
Here she comes.
Well, everyone, this beautiful bird is Giri. And Giri is a red-tailed black cockatoo. And his full name, Giri Giri, it actually means very red, which is incredibly fitting for a bird like him. Now, they're not a species that we'll find locally here in Sydney. However, we are home to many other plant and animal species. We're lucky here to be called a sanctuary, not just for the wildlife in our care, but for people and for local wildlife as well. Because in a word, Taronga really is habitat. And to help us demonstrate this today, we've got two lovely volunteers who are going to help become habitat.
Here they
For
come.
these next two beautiful birds.
Whoa. So pretty.
Now joining Julia on the far side there is Heikia and Monotoka, and they're two female red-tailed black cockatoos. You can tell they look a little bit different from Giri Giri, who is the male. They've got those yellow dots over their head and back, and their tails.
Whoa! Right over my head.
Heikia,
I wish I could do that.
First. That's okay. We'll bring Monotoka over, and we might try that again.
Here they come. Here they come.
Heikia and Monotoka, their names, they do have meaning. They're named after species of plants that you will find in native red-tailed black cockatoo habitat. And that's a really important reminder of the connection that these birds hold with their environment.
Yeah. Whoa.
Now, cockatoos, they do often get a bad reputation for being messy eaters, but whilst they're eating quite messily, they're actually dispersing seeds into their environments as those seeds drop to the ground. That's what helps trees to grow and habitats to flourish.
Whoop. Here it comes. I think you'll go back and forth.
Now, Julia mentioned earlier that these birds, they do rely on tree hollows. But a hollow log large enough for them could take around 150 years to start to form. Chances are you don't have one of those in your own backyard, but that's okay. So there are other options for them.
Whoop, there they go.
So providing habitat in your own backyard can be as easy as installing a nest box, just like the one we see under the black speaker post just there. If you guys scan that QR code, it'll take you to a link that will help you decide which nest box to install.
There you go.
Nice work, girls. And thank you so much to our two volunteers today for helping us out. You really were the best habitat these birds could have. Yeah, you can give them a round of applause. They did a great job. Now, installing a nest box like this one, it's a great take-home action. But if you would like to get involved while you're here today, you have that opportunity as well. Now, around 15 years ago, we installed this one donation box here. And in that time, thanks to you, it's actually raised over $500,000, which really is incredible. And all of that money goes directly to our conservation efforts. Something we're paying special focus to is this beautiful bird on the front, the Regent Honeyeater. Now, they used to number in the tens of thousands. Sadly, it is estimated that there are less than 300 left in the wild. So every year, Taronga is breeding and releasing these birds, as well as planting thousands of native trees to make sure there's a wild to return them to. So if that is a cause you'd like to support, please come on down, make a donation. And if you wanted to see these birds while you're here, you can head on over to the Blue Mountains Bushwalk Avery.
It really is with all of your support that we see a bright future, where our skies and our backyards are filled with remarkable birds. And it all starts by simply looking up.
Whoa! A whole flock of birds! Yo, here they come!
That dog.
Oh, more in the sky! Ah, coming. Hard to get on the camera. There they are! There's another one!
Thank you all so much for coming down to Taronga's Free Flight Birds. We do hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye, everyone.
Beth.